With the high gold spot price today, is it too late to invest in gold in 2020? Hey, I'm the Stacking Stormtrooper. If you're new to the channel, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm a guy in a bucket talking about precious metals. So make sure you hit the subscribe button, get the bell notification clicked, and that way you get updated with any new content. I figured that this was a good video to share with those of you that may have missed it. This was published by the Wall Street Journal on August 19th of 2020, talking about the volatility of the gold market. I've touched on some of these points in previous videos. I figured that this was a good one to share with those of you who haven't seen it yet. It can give you some clarification and understanding as to why gold is reacting the way that it is, where it might be going, and I'm going to share with you why I believe that gold is still a good buy in 2020, even though we are seeing a high gold spot price.
Over the past few months, the price of gold has been going haywire. You can see it on this chart. As the coronavirus pandemic took hold in March, the price crashed alongside stocks.
Do you remember that dip? Many of us were very frustrated that there was this major dip in the precious metals market, but we were unable to get our hands on any physical silver and gold, and the prices were not keeping in line with these spot prices, which we knew was all basically paper trading.
And then quickly regained. Then a frenzy of investment drove up the price to all-time highs. On August 4th, it shot past $2,000 a troy ounce for the first time ever, before another week of big swings. This volatility is drawing both Main Street and Wall Street investors seeking fast gains, and leading some analysts to call it a modern-day gold rush. But these big moves call into question gold's reputation as a safe haven asset.
Prices can move at a moment's notice without fundamental reason. More volatility means more risk, and that means gold isn't the haven necessarily that some people think it is.
Now, a lot of us know that this is the issue with silver and gold, right? That the prices are volatile. It's all about dollar cost averaging and making sure that you have a thick skin so that way you can weather the storms when there are drops in the value of gold.
To understand why the price of gold is so volatile, first you need to understand how gold trading works. Like other precious metals, the price of gold is tied to physical assets.
The physical gold market involves mining, refining, travel, and sale.
So those are the four main components of the whole precious metals market. When we see gold coming out of the ground, right, that's the mining phase. When it gets refined, then it gets shipped and then sold. When we see those four facets of the precious metals industry crumble or close down, then we see the issue that we saw with the spot prices of gold.
Gold mining happens on every continent except Antarctica, and the top producing countries are China, Russia, and Australia. This work adds up to about 2,500 to 3,000 metric tons of gold each year. This metal is then smelted and refined before being turned into bars, coins, and other products like jewelry. The gold is then shipped around the world, often stashed in the cargo of commercial aircrafts. Much of it is sent to London. Mostly hidden beneath the streets of the city, the Bank of England's vaults hold around 400,000 bars of gold, worth over $260 billion.
The physical trading of gold in London is done behind closed doors and in secret by a few banks. So these banks work with the London Bullion Market Association to set the physical price of a troy ounce of gold, and that price determines how much gold is worth everywhere.
The gold stash in London is rivaled only by the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, which holds the world's largest hoard of physical gold. In other places around the world, gold is a common investment as well.
In a lot of cultures in Asia, people see gold as something that's having prestige and intrinsic value that can be passed down from generation to generation. That can be a big source of physical demand for jewelry and bars and coins.
When individual investors want to buy in, they generally have a few options. They can purchase physical gold in person from dealers or on websites like APMEX.
I kind of chuckled when the journalist said APMEX.
They can bid on thousands of dollars worth of gold through eBay.
Do you guys bid on gold through eBay? I know that there's some trusted sites on there, but I personally am not one who buys off of eBay because I I don't really trust it necessarily, but I know a lot of people within the stacking community have had great success.
And they can buy exchange-traded funds that hold physical metal. The biggest of these is SPDR Gold Shares, which is traded on the New York Stock Exchange. But this is just the physical market. Gold is also traded on a whole different market that is tied to commodity futures. This takes us back to New York, where gold futures trade on the COMEX division of the New York Mercantile Exchange. Futures are contracts which lock the price of a commodity that will change hands at a specific future date. A standard futures contract is tied to 100 ounces of gold, worth over $200,000, depending on the market.
The most actively traded month for gold futures right now is December, because that's a month people expect the pandemic's issues to maybe be resolved by, and it's a month around November's presidential election. A lot of people are very nervous about the outcome of that election and that it might be delayed, so they're using these December gold futures to give themselves options and protect against market turmoil.
But gold has slipped lately after a long run-up, a reminder that momentum in this market can change quickly.
So one of the things that many of us always talk about doing is buying in the dips, right? And here's this recent dip where gold dropped by about $150 over the course of a couple days. And one of the things that many of us realize too is when these drastic dips occur like this, that is when the online dealers and local coin shops, they basically keep their premiums intact. They don't really lower their prices too much because they're not going to want to sell anything at a loss. So if they bought something up here and the price is all the way down here, it doesn't make sense for them to sell right around this range. They're going to hang on to it. So what we need for those of us who are in this buying mode is we need to see a more gradual decrease in price. So as there's a gradual decrease in price, that's when these online retailers and coin shops are buying gradually, and they can then weather those storms a little bit easier. That's when their pricing kind of goes more in line with the spot prices. But when we see just a plummet like this, a lot of us realized that they are not going to budge on those premiums.
Still, this hasn't stopped gold bugs. And there are a few reasons why people continue to pile money into the metal right now. For a lot of investors, it started in March, when mines, refineries, and airlines shut down across the world, upending the system usually used to move gold across the Atlantic and stabilize prices. But when the pandemic hit, investors feared there wouldn't be a way to physically move gold between the markets. This caused physical gold purchases to soar, leading to a severe shortage that drove up the price of futures. But there are other reasons too.
There are a lot of people who are very bullish on gold and think it's an alternative currency that provides a hedge against inflation and is very attractive when interest rates are low. Many bulls are piling into the sector because they think the Federal Reserve and other central banks are eroding the value of paper money by pumping a ton of cash into the global financial system to support the economy.
The increased activity is contributing to momentum trading, driving a frenzy for gold similar to stocks. But if inflation doesn't materialize, the momentum that gold is seeing could unravel.
Analysts say the current trading environment is extremely risky. People say all of the economic and political instability could last for a lot longer than we think. At the same time, if the economic recovery goes better than expected, if there's a coronavirus vaccine more quickly than we think, gold could have some issues.
This means that gold could face more volatility moving forward.
So if we are seeing more stability in the economy and with what's happening in the world with relation to the pandemic, as well as the United States election, if there's stability, we're going to see the prices of gold come tumbling down. But if this continues to last, as some analysts are expecting, then we're going to probably be in this turbulent time for a while, at least another year or possibly even 2 years. So it should be very interesting to see what the outcome is going to be. Analysts are saying that gold is far from over its current run to these meteoric prices. So that is basically one of the main reasons that I continue to buy, is that basically the analysts are saying that gold is still has plenty of opportunity to grow. Now, what did I get in here? I got a coin that I have been waiting to get for a very long time, and I am extremely, extremely excited to show this off. Wish my friend didn't tape it in there the way that they did, but hey, wanted to be secure. So what did I get? And why did I get it? Well, when I bought this, gold was at, I want to say 2,000, what was it, like $2,000 an ounce? Maybe it was, actually, no, I'm sorry, it was less than that. It was like around like 1950, 1960 an ounce. But, you know, I saw it as an opportunity to buy more. And this was a coin that I've been looking to get for a really long time. Guys, check this out. So I got a half ounce proof American Gold Eagle, and check this out, 50 peso gold coin. Isn't that pretty? I have to try to find a capsule that will fit this thing, but really, really nice coin. And I'm actually gonna use my bare hands. Oh my gosh, look at that. Just because I know that it's probably been handled by the individual I got it from with their bare hands. Just a really pretty coin. This has got 1.2057 ounces. This is a restrike. This is from 1821 to 1947, so I believe this was restruck in 1947. But still, very hefty coin. I'm wondering what size capsule this thing will fit in, but I was just very excited to get this coin. Check out the luster on that beauty. Just a big, fat coin. Let's flip this around again. Look at that. Got the eagle with the snake in its mouth. I believe the significance, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that that's basically like protecting the country against evil and corruption and what have you. Completely wrong probably, so feel free to comment down below. But I've wanted this coin for a while. This was on my bucket list. It was basically right up there with the gold buffaloes. And, you know, I'm just happy that I got it. So do I think it's too late for people to invest in gold? Not at all. I still think that gold has plenty of time to rise. And I do intend to continue to buy gold even as prices continue to climb. And, you know, I'm curious as to what many of you are doing. I know some of you are probably going to just wait and see. And, you know, one of the fears that some people have is that, you know, gold can continue to rise. And then you're going to look back 10 years from now and be like, man, remember when gold was 2,000 an ounce? What a deal. Isn't that crazy? But, you know, I bought gold for the first time when it was a little bit under 1,000 an ounce. And now look at where we are. People would jump all over that opportunity to buy. So, you know, I'll continue to buy it. And if gold continues to drop, I'll buy it. I'm just going to continue to buy regardless, up or down. Regardless of what it does, I'm one of those. So anyhow, let me know what you guys are doing. Are you buying gold? Are you waiting and seeing? Are you waiting for, hopefully a lot of you are looking at the silver to gold ratio, the gold silver ratio, and you're basically looking for silver to shoot up so that you could hopefully trade in some of your silver for some of this stuff. Let me know what it is that you are doing in the comments below. Do you think it's too late? And I just want to quickly thank these elite channel supporters. And if you haven't become a channel member, please check out the awesome perks and join today. With that, I'm the Stacking Stormtrooper. Check out these videos. Until next time, long live the Empire.